In this tutorial, as we move along with our flashlight, what I'm going to show you is to how to make holes that go completely through the flashlight. And we're going to use some of the same techniques that we've been using. We're going to principally rely on our Boolean difference tool to cut our holes into our objects. But we're also going to use our cylinder tool to achieve this. We're going to use geometric primitives to achieve this. So let's get started. Okay. I'm going to come back here and let's center everything, get everything squared up in all our windows. And I think I want to add my a series of holes in this layer to complement what we have going on here. And there are a number of ways that we can do it, but we're going to do it this way. We're going to use our cylinder tool, and we're going to create a cylinder right here along the center. We want to make sure that it doesn't go beyond that point. We want to keep it bounded in here, like so. And we want to drag it out like that. And then we'll just take it, and with our ortho snap turned on, we're going to move it along this axis like that, so that it penetrates our object on both sides. So it looks something like that. And good, we've done a nice job here. We actually put that hole in between the other two. And that's a good position for that. Okay. And now once again, let's go back and you know, a lot of times it's good to limit the number of techniques that you do because you just don't get confused. So here we're going to pick up where we left off, and we're going to use an array polar, and we're going to use the point as the center of our array, and we're going to make it match up by using 9, and we have these 9 lines that go through our object like so. Now, and let's accept that. So we have this situation here. Okay. And so now what we can do, let's see if it'll let us do this. It may not. Sometimes it doesn't. Let's do a Boolean difference. And we want to subtract from this object. And we want to subtract with these cylinders that we just created. And yes, it did. And there we go. We have our holes. Okay, just like that, just like that. And so that's one way that we can generate our holes, by moving a solid through our object and using our Boolean difference command. Okay. Another way that we can generate holes is using your trim command. And let's go to our front window. We're going to zoom in here. And with the trim command, you can either use a curve or a solid to cut out a portion of your design. In this case, we're going to use a curve. I'm going to use my curve tool, and I'm going to draw this. Let me turn off my ortho snap. I'm going to draw this curve pattern like so, and let me type in points on, and I want to move this point so that it aligns with that one there. And that's just a little bit slightly cleaner curve there. I want to clean that up a little bit. Whenever I start working with curves, I tend to get a little more maniacal. We'll talk more about those in detail because it's very important. I want to edit that like that. And you notice that the exterior wall, interior wall in my object right here. Okay? And so now, let me turn these points off. And now what I want to do, I want to duplicate this on each side. So I'm going to mirror this. Use my mirror command. And I'll use my near snap, so I'll get this axis near the center. Like that. And that mirrors with a copy on both sides. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a command that's called project. And let me shift click this one. And what it allows you to do, it allows you to take a curve and allows you to project that curve onto a surface. And so I'm going to run my project command with the curve selected. And it asks me for surface, polysurface, or meshes to project onto. I want to project it onto that mesh, and I'm going to right click, and now you'll see that those curves have been projected onto that mesh. Not only have they been projected onto that mesh, but you notice that you'll have a projection for the exterior curve and a projection for the interior curve. You have a projection for the exterior curve and the interior curve. That's one way that we could have done this. And there's always about 2 or 3 different ways that you can accomplish the same thing from within Rhino. And so now with these curves selected, what we're going to do a trim operation. And we're going to trim out the body of our flashlight, both the interior walls and the exterior walls, so that we get something that looks like that. We're going to come over on this side and we're going to do the same thing. So that now we have the interior walls and the exterior walls designated like so. Okay? And now what we could do, and let's hit enter. Since we have these curves now, what we could do is that we can add a loft command. There are a number of ways that we could join these. We could do it with a loft command and loft in between our 2 objects, like so. We'll type in loft. And it asks you to select the curves to loft. And we have that curve. And we have that curve right there. And then we right click. And it puts in our seam lines. And we got to make sure those are facing in the same direction. We right click there. And we get a lofted surface in between the 2. And that looks pretty clean. Okay. And click OK. We come around here, we're going to right click, do the same command, select that curve there, select that curve there, right click, and we're going to get a different kind of pattern here, and let's see if this is a nice clean curve. Yeah, and that's relatively clean also, can live with that. And we'll click on OK, and we've got a nice surface. Now the one thing that we have to do, because now we have 1 surface, 2 surfaces, 3 surfaces, we have to join all of those together. So let's right left select everything, and we can come over here to our join command to click join, or you can also hit Control J to accomplish the same thing. Okay, and there you see we've created our holes, like so, using curves that we projected onto our surfaces, and then use them to trim. Now note that the curves didn't go all the way across. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can use a curve that goes all the way across your surface to actually create a notch, because a lot of times in your designs you want to create notches that break up your surfaces with a little ridge. We're going to add a little notch detail to the center part of this surface here. So let's go to our front window, and I'm going to do this with an arc tool. I'm going to use a start, end, center. I'm going to start there, and I'm going to draw an arc like that goes through this object. And I'm going to use this to break up my object. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to project that onto the surface. And I did it with delete input, so you notice that now I have a circular arch, okay, arc, okay, that goes around the object because the curve went all the way across the object. I'm going to use my control key to turn off the exterior one off because I want to keep that one. I'm going to delete the interior one because I'm only really concerned with this one. Okay, so with this, okay, let's run a pipe around this curve that we just created. I'm going to make that like so. I'm going to pipe that. And now let's see if we can do a Boolean difference now to notch that out of this shape. So we're going to do a Boolean difference. Select that object. Come over here, select that. And there we go. We have our notch. We've notched our form like that. And it's a great way to break up the surface of an object by projecting a curve onto the object, piping it, and then doing a difference command.